So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is the Mr. Media Interview, broadcast and recorded live on blogtalkradio.com from the new Media and American League Baseball capital of the world, St. Petersburg, Florida. It is well known that I am a sucker for local kid-made good stories, so how could I say no to having Brooke Newton on the show tonight? And no, it doesn't hurt that she's beautiful and a former NFL cheerleader with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brooke is at an early point in her acting career, but she's certainly getting plenty of opportunities to shine. This week, for example, she'll be in Thursday's episode of the CBS crime procedural series CSI. And she's also shot roles in the CBS sitcom Gary Unmarried, which stars Jay Moore, and the upcoming Fox sitcom Glee. Brooke, welcome to Mr. Media.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Sure. How you doing?
I'm doing great, actually. It's really hot out here in LA. It's 102 degrees out here right now. So I'm just trying to keep cool right now.
Maybe it's just you. Maybe it's not LA.
Maybe it's just me. That's nice. I like it.
Well, let's get down to serious business. Do you think that the Bucs made the right move firing Jay Gruden?
Oh boy, you're asking me this question right away. Gruden was amazing. I think he was a great coach to have, and actually he was the coach when I was cheering for the team. So I really don't want to say too much about him. I know he's going to be missed a lot, and I miss seeing him on the team. I really do.
You like Chucky?
Yes, I did. I like him a lot. What team is he going for now? Is there any new
I don't think he's been hired.
No.
No, I think they're all afraid of him.
Really? I liked him a lot, but
yeah.
I can't say much on that right now.
All right. Well, what's your prediction for the team without Jay this year?
Well, I hope for the best. I hope they go to playoffs again. I think that's a great. I think the Bucs can possibly go to playoffs again this year. The second year I cheered, we went to playoffs. So I hope the best. I hope all the way. Let's keep our fingers crossed for Super Bowl.
Okay, that would be nice. Would that be enough to bring you? Would that be enough to bring you home for a day or two?
Oh, of course. Yes, it would. Oh, it would.
All right. Well, enough football questions. However, in case you're wondering, and I know you're probably spending a lot of time thinking about this, here's some of the music that was being used just a few weeks ago to audition this year's Bucs cheerleaders. Yeah. I got that hit to beat the block. You can get that bass on below. I got that rock and roll, that future flow, that digital. All right, I think we got the idea.
I like it.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's gonna.
Well, see, that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, you hear that kind of stuff. Does it make you, jump out of your seat and want to dance, or are you glad that those days are behind you?
Oh no, I really do miss cheering. I miss being there on the field. It's an amazing experience to feel the energy of everybody there, and just everybody's there for one thing, and they all believe in the team. That's amazing. But it's funny, actually, I was working out today, and I heard one of the songs, I can't remember which song it was that we cheered to, so I hear a lot of songs that I used to cheer to the past. It really brings back a lot of memories. It makes me want to dance again.
like Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train?
Yeah, Crazy Train. I love it. That's when you know the game's ready to go.
Yeah.
That's when all the energy comes.
Well, I would guess that a lot of young women try out to be NFL cheerleaders with stars in their eyes, but, we all know very few actually make it to Hollywood. How did it happen for you?
Well, acting is something I've always pretty much been doing since I was 8 years old, and it's the number one thing I've always wanted to do, and I've been, doing acting from Florida. I used to travel to Miami, to Tampa. I lived in Tampa for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Then I would drive up to North Carolina and Louisiana because a lot of films actually go to North Carolina and Louisiana. So I would drive 15 hours a day for auditions and callbacks in the industry to pursue what I wanted to do. And then when I was going to graduate high school, I was going to go out to L.A. straight out here to do my acting and make the next step for my career. And my aunt actually called me and told me, why don't you try out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? It'd be a great opportunity for you because you're a dancer, and, you know, it'd be great for you to get out there. So I tried out, and each cut I ended up making it further and further. And I said, you know, I can really do this. And it was a great experience, something I'll never forget.
So what was the break? Was it a film? Was it TV? What, you know, when did you know you were going to stick around?
When I was going to stick around in LA or in the film industry?
Well, both.
You know, well, I started acting. I started doing theater, and then in Florida, a lot of commercials go there. So I've done a lot of commercials. I had a SeaWorld commercial run for 10 years. American Citrus, Orange Juice. I've done a lot of commercials, a lot of Ford car commercial with Derek Jeter. But then every so often they have some films that come to Florida. So I did a Paris Hilton movie, Pledge This, in Florida, a couple of independent films, and a really big Italian film called Natal in Miami. Mm-hmm. And that was probably one of my favorite projects to work on because it was more challenging because all the actors were speaking Italian and I had to speak as much as I could. And the director actually forgot a couple of times and he was speaking to me in his own language, and it was really tough to do that. It was a good role, yeah. And,
well, I was just going to point out that in case anyone's looking, you are the hot chick in National Lampoon's Pledge This with Paris Hilton. Yeah. Hot chick. What exactly did that mean, that you were the hot chick in that particular movie?
The hot chick. Actually, they deleted the scene, but
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens. It happens a lot. But that's pretty much starting out. You have to, because I'm young, you have to play a lot of sorority roles, a hot girl, and then you kind of work yourself up the ladder. So
and you were in.
There's a lot of. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was going to say you were in a movie that I saw. You were in Sydney White. I have a 12-year-old daughter, so I saw that. You were a sorority girl in that. What?
Yes.
Do you remember any dialogue? Did you have any dialogue in that film?
No, I didn't have any dialogue. I worked on the film for 2 weeks. Pretty much we had to react off of Amanda Bynes and Sarah Paxton, and we were tortured, coming into a new sorority. So it was very funny and comedic, all the torturement they put us through.
That was a fun movie. I remember that.
Yeah, it was fun. I actually flew back from L.A. because I moved out to L.A. and then I had to fly back to Florida to film that. So, yeah.
And let's see, Gary Unmarried. Are you in one episode of that or more? Or?
I was introduced as Marjorie, the new next-door neighbor, the official next-door neighbor. So it is a possible recurring role. We just hope that the sitcom actually goes back another year. But I think it will. It has enough viewers. It's a great show, and the writing's hilarious. Jay Moore. And we have a legendary director, Jim Burrows. I mean, he directed Cheers. He was the creator of Cheers, directed Seinfeld, Friends. So he's a legend in TV. And the director was amazing to work with.
The only real drawback for that show, unfortunately, is it's not Jay Moore. It's Paula Marshall, who I love, but is one of those actors and actresses who, when you see them in a show, you just pretty well know it's not going to last very long.
Really? Why so? What do you think?
She has been. I'm gonna pull up the shows because we've watched her over the years. She has been in. Let's see. She was a star in a show called Out of Practice, which I believe was with Henry Winkler. She was in Hidden Hills. She was in Cupid. She was in Snoops. A whole series of shows where she starred, and the shows never made it to a second season. I love her. I like but I just got to warn you that most of the shows that she's cast as a star of don't make it to a second season. So I don't want to rain on the parade, but it's unfortunate. Yeah.
Let's knock on wood right now.
Yeah.
I would really love if Gary comes back. Gary Unmarried, for sure.
Yeah. It's a fun show.
I mean, Yeah, to film in front of a live audience, I mean, there's nothing better than that. It's practically like cheering again. You have the energy of the whole audience, and sometimes they laugh and sometimes they don't, so it really puts the pressure on you because you only have normally 2 takes to get it right. Not like film or TV. So sitcom's tough. Sitcom is very cutthroat.
What was Jay Moore like? How was he to work with?
Jay Moore is hilarious. Hilarious. He was always cracking up jokes. I think he's brilliant. He is a very hard worker, and I think he is one of the producers involved on it as well. But he was amazing, but he does work very hard, and he likes to see the show going, but he keeps the energy up. He's kind of like the pitcher in the baseball team. So he keeps it going, and he's obviously speaks louder than all the other actors because that's the thing with sitcom. You're practically yelling when you're acting. It's different. The microphones are a little bit different than a normal set because the whole audience is clapping, so you can't really get all the sound effects from the audience compared to like TV and film. Like
now Jay is a huge sports fan who fills in or had been filling in on occasion, even for Jim Rome. Did he find out at any point that you had been a cheerleader for the Bucs?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He found out, and he was asking me a lot of questions about that. He was pretty interested about that, and thought he was very fond of it. Yeah, I've heard he does a lot of. Does he do some sports talk shows and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I know at one point anyway, he would fill in for Jim Rome on Jim Rome show. So yeah, he's a big sports nut, and yeah, interesting. And then tell us about you're in CSI this Thursday. What are you doing, and what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I don't want to say too much. It looks like a really, really good episode. I think the writers actually went out on a limb on this, and it seems like it has a lot more involved in the script than it normally does. I am acting. I'm a girlfriend of one of the characters, and it is Henry Thomas it was little Elliot on E.T.
Oh, yeah.
He's not little anymore. He's almost around his 40s.
Oh, that's so sad. Don't say that.
He's around there. I mean, but he looks young. I mean, he has a baby face. He played it himself at 17 years old, so he was able to play a 17-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was great to work with him because he's amazing. I mean, he worked on Legend of the Falls with Brad Pitt, and then he did Games of New York with Leonardo DiCaprio, so he's done a lot. He's done a lot, and it was great to work with an experienced actor like him. And the director was amazing. The show, I don't want to say too much. Basically, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, and we're a couple that has some crazy issues, and we're very desperate, and we have a plan to rob a couple of houses to try to get enough money to get away and to go to LA and start our life over. And that's the predicament we're in, and things happen. And he actually gets caught, and he serves time for it.
Well, I was going to say it's CSI, so everyone I've mentioned this to is wondering if you lived to the end of the episode.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. Good for you.
But there is a twist with me, so I can't really say too much.
Okay. All right. Well, good for you, because a lot of people I think get a role on a show like that, and they wind up on a gurney most of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to mention another thing. There's another Florida actress on Gary Unmarried as well.
Who's that?
Catherine Newton. Her last name's Newton as well, and she lives in Miami.
Oh.
And she's a little girl. She's 11 years old. She plays Jay Moore's daughter. And everybody thought we were actually sisters because we look a lot alike, and we're both from Florida, and we both have the same last name. So she's great,
cool.
though. Her career is really going to take off as well. She's really funny and really smart, and a great actress.
Huh.
And that too.
So So that's the CSI. And then tell me about Glee. This is a Fox sitcom. This I don't think any of these episodes have aired yet, have they?
No, it's airing, I think, next month. It's going to be right after American Idol. So
Wow.
It's a great place. It's on Fox, and it's a musical. So it's interesting, kind of like High School Musical, but it is about a high school group, and it's about the drama, and it's got a lot of comedic time in it. It's a great show, so it's not all musical. There's a lot of dialogue, and there's a lot of problems and issues, and then every so often they go off to like singing and dancing. So I think it's a show that everyone would like. And what's interesting, they're all new actors, all the kids. They're pretty much trained from New York and theater.
Huh. Is Jane Lynch the star of the show?
Let me see, Jane Lynch. He probably plays the teacher. I only know them by the character names.
Oh, okay. Well, let me, I'm
looking right now.
Oh, okay. I was going to look. She plays Sue.
Yes, Sue. He's the main teacher, the Glee instructor. So he's a vocal coach.
No, it's Jane, though. It's a woman. Jane Lynch.
Oh, Jane Lynch.
Short blonde hair. No?
All my scenes were with the kids.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right.
Let me see.
So, are you in one episode or more than one episode of this?
I'm in one episode so far, but they just started filming, so I think they're only on the third episode. It is a possible recurring, and who knows what's going to happen with the episode once it airs.
Got it.
So we'll see.
Got it. And then, let's see, you've also got a couple other things coming up. Little Fish, Strange Pond, is that a film?
That's an independent film.
You've already shot that?
Yes, already shot it.
Okay. And what kind of role do you have in that?
I am the girlfriend of one of the main guys, and I really don't. It's kind of a suspense thriller kind of film. It's kind of a dark comedy about these workers. It all takes place like in a job atmosphere of these workers. I can't even remember, because I don't even remember what it was really about. But they're all in this working place, and they have active imaginations. And I just remember my scenes where I was with him that he started going crazy, and he was fantasizing over me, over his worker's girlfriend, and he just decides to take a knife out and slash him. But it was just his imagination. So it's kind of dark. It's with Gregory Dark. He directed See No Evil, which was a great horror film. So it's kind of dark. It's kind of a comedy, thriller, suspense film. And I would like to know when that's going to come out.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. And it seems like you're at that early point in your career. You're doing a lot of girlfriends. You're doing some background. You are, to use a term that may not be the best term, a bit of eye candy in a lot of these things. Where is this all going for you? And do you have the patience to wait for, to get the experience and move past, these kind of roles?
Of course. I've been out here for 2 years now in LA. They say if you're here for 2 years, you're here to stay. Because they say if you don't make it, or if you don't stay here till 2 years, you're going to go back home. Like you would go back home before that. Unfortunately, the whole industry, sex sells.
Yeah.
And if you notice, a lot of films, it is a man's world and it is a man's industry. And I hate to say that. No offense. But
no. None taken.
It just seems like every script, there's very few films that are actually written for a female cast, and most of the leads and most of the roles, like they say, to every role for 8 men, there's only 2 or 3 for women. And that's why it's tough. If you don't make it by a certain age, you're going to be up against Meg Ryan or these Academy Award-winning actors and actresses. So women have a shelf life in this industry. not men. Men, it's a different case. They can come out and they can start acting when they're 40 years old, 60 years old, and make it happen. But, yeah, it's kind of like the eye candy. I definitely keep my morals and I have my limits, and there's a lot of films I actually turn down because of nudity. So I don't do that. And it is something to kind of get your foot in the door and get your footage, because when you have a reel or you have the material or the footage or the credits, then they'll start looking at you for other roles and better roles, and it just keeps going up and up like a ladder.
Mm. I'm curious about that. You said you're not going to take any roles with nudity. Unfortunately, you're right. I mean, that is how a lot of women get their start. I mean, they seem to have to agree to do something like that. Is that holding you back?
I think I could probably get there a lot quicker if I would do that. But I believe that my talent will speak for itself, and I believe that I'm a great actress, so it's a matter of time and just keep going. Now down the road, I don't know if I would maybe consider it if it's a lead role and it's a great film, something along the lines of Babel. It has to be an award-winning film. You'll know when it's the right time to do it if you would do it. It's not good to do it in a comedy. Most comedies are, they're just closed to sell. So I do have my morals, and I want to stick to them, and I think I'll be happier by the end of the day if I do that.
I suspect you're right, and it's good for you to, stick by that. It's going to be tough, I'm sure, because there's so many who are willing to take that step. Excuse me.
Yes.
So what else do you have lined up? You've got a couple things that you've shot that maybe haven't been scheduled yet. What are you working toward? Do you know what's ahead for the next few months?
Well, I do have Meteor: The Path of Destruction coming out the following month after Glee, which is a miniseries with Christopher Lloyd.
Oh.
Yeah, so I have that coming out too, and National Lampoon film RoboDoc. And
RoboDoc.
I filmed that in Florida with Alan Thicke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke.
Yeah.
Maybe he could introduce you to his son, Robin.
Actually, he gave me an autographed CD of his son.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm up for 3 films right now. So it's just, I just finished reading the scripts. One is an action horror film, and the other one is it's a comedy. It's actually based on a true story, and it takes place in a ski resort. And the third one, I haven't read the script yet, but someone just sent me a time period piece film, which I'd really like to get in, about Jack the Ripper.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I'm interested to read that one. So I do have a couple things coming up. I'm writing as well. I'm writing a couple of scripts that I would like to produce myself.
What on earth is? Oh, you know what? I just
You okay?
I just found your MySpace page.
Oh.
And it started playing music in the background, and I didn't know where that was coming from. I was just going to ask you where people could find you. I know that you have a Twitter page at twitter.com/Brooke Newton.
I am trying to figure that out. I have no clue how to use that. It doesn't make sense to me right now. So I do have a Facebook, and I do have a MySpace.
Okay.
I am creating a website,
Good.
So that will be out soon. So those are probably the best ways to contact me if you would like. And I know I'm going to try to get my website up soon.
Great. I know from interviewing a lot of young actors and actresses, they find it very useful to have these things going so that they can develop, their own group of fans independently and people who follow them from project to project. So you'd probably be wise to get that done.
Yeah.
Well, folks, you can catch Brooke Newton's appearance on CSI this Thursday, April 21st at 9 p.m. And watch for her, hopefully, for a recurrence on Gary Unmarried on CBS and the upcoming Fox sitcom, Glee. And as I said, you can follow her on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Brooke, and Brooke is with an E, Newton, Brooke Newton. And as she says, she's on MySpace and Facebook. And Brooke, it was a lot of fun having you on here today. I wish you well. We always like to see kids from from Florida and the Tampa Bay area do well, and I hope we'll have you back when there's some more good things breaking for you.
Oh, love to. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Good luck to you.
All right, thanks. And
all right, bye-bye. Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
That'd be great. Bye-bye. Now, folks, for more TV-related interviews, you can surf over to our main website, www.mrmedia.com. That's where you can listen to my earlier conversations with the stars of Heroes, Curb Your Enthusiasm, My Name is Earl, Chuck, and many more. And please think about writing an online review of Mr. Media, casting a vote for Mr. Media, or marking Mr. Media as one of your favorites, whether you listen on Blog Talk Radio, MySpace, Facebook, High Five, Tag, Bebo, Orkut, Digital Journal, Podcast Pickle, Vox, Pointer Online, iGoogle, Yahoo, Folio, Mediafly, Podfeed.net, Blueberry Zencast, or Odeo. We're everywhere. And subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. It's ANDELMAN. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Andelman. Thanks for joining us today. I always appreciate when you take a piece of your day and share it with us. Thanks so much for listening, and come back real soon.